I never thought this day would come. I never thought in a million years I was gonna finally pay off my student debt. Today's video is going to be how I paid off student debt. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Whew. Number 1, minimalism. I would not have been able to do this without minimalism. If it wasn't so cool and chic to be a minimalist, be like, yeah, I'm so minimalist. It was not trendy to be a minimalist, at least when I was growing up. Now it's super chic and super cool. And thinking that, oh, buying that is just so totally against my principles was the only thing that kept me accountable. There's plenty of times where I was going to buy something and then my friends would be like, aren't you a minimalist? I was like, yeah, true. And the other thing was, that was the excuse that I gave when I wanted to buy something and I didn't. And they're like, why aren't you buying that? I felt so ashamed. I couldn't tell them that I had student debt to pay. So I told them, oh, it's because I'm a minimalist. And they totally fell for it. So if you're feeling really ashamed and you don't know what to do about your money situation, just tell everyone you've become a minimalist. How I paid it off. I went to school and I also worked part-time at the same time. So it took me 5 years of saving to have the money ready. So I think that is worth noting why I'm able to pay it off right now that I graduated. I wanted to make this video because it helps somebody else out. See, this was the hardest life experiences that I have ever been through, and it was paying off this student debt. It was everything that I did for the past 5 years was for this. Number 1, record it all. Everything that I spent, whether it was big or small, I recorded it all. You guys have seen some of my other videos how I budget in China. I had 2 apps, one for my income, for my part-time job, and the other one for all my expenses, including tuition, books, food, eating out, drinks, miscellaneous stuff, clothes, phone bill, anything. I recorded it to the T. I was very meticulous. And I always had this principle in mind that I respected the $5. I initially didn't think I was going to be able to pay off all of my debt when I came out. My actual goal was actually to be able to just at least pay off half when I came out, and then hopefully the other half once I got a job. I lived so tight, not because I wanted to, and not because I really wanted to be a minimalist, but because thinking about how much interest I was going to have to pay if I didn't have the money ready to pay off my debt scared the living shit out of me. You guys don't know how much sleep I lost. I had no money to my name when I started med school. I was like, I have no freaking idea how I'm going to pay this off. Thought every dollar matters. I was so frugal, guys. I was so cheap. I used to have the worst anxiety attacks over spending $10, like pretty bad. Where I could save, I saved. And I think that is the biggest reason why I was able to succeed. That's the key thing. If you stop this video at this point, please, you will be able to do what you need to do if you are frugal. All right, number 2, how to plan. I didn't have a part-time job while I was an undergrad. I was like, yeah, it's all good. Before I went to med school for both my regular undergrad and my teacher's college, I was pretty bad with money. So that is why I carried with me the first $30K when I went to med school, because I didn't even know how much I owed. I didn't think about the interest. I gave none of these things any thought. It wasn't until before I went to med school that I had my whole change of epiphany about money and my mentality. You need to look at what you owe and how much you have, and you need to take a look. I needed to take a look, and that's the only reason I was able to know where I'm going. But what I did was I pulled up all of my OSAP papers. I've organized everything. Nothing super complicated, no Excel or anything like that. Just a regular pen and paper. Wrote down some numbers. Kind of gave me a gist. I need to be paying off this much by this date. Having a plan is going to be way more helpful than not having a plan. Number 3, live well below your means. When I say if you want to get out of student debt, even though you may not be a student anymore, you're definitely going to have to adopt broke student mentality, because lifestyle inflation is a real thing, and I was so wary of that. I couldn't let myself have any lifestyle inflation. It was a little bit hard because when I was in med school, I was already older. I didn't really feel like I wanted to do the broke student lifestyle. Other 20-something, 30-year-olds, they're already living it up, and here I am still eating water-boiled vegetables. So I totally understand, especially if you're older, you want to just go out and you just want to live your life. But if you want to pay off your student debts as quickly as you can, I think the most practical way to get out of it is to apply the broke student mentality. Just think back to the time where maybe you didn't have that much money, and just remember how tightly you had to live. Continue to live that way for a period of time. I'm a broke student. Behave like a broke student. Pay off some of this debt, because when you pay off your debt, the only person you help is yourself. Number 4, earning some money. I know this one is a little bit obvious. Obviously, the only way you're going to pay off your debt is by earning money, but it needed to be stated. The only reason is because myself, during my first undergrad, I didn't work part-time. I just figured a future me was going to deal with this. But when push came to shove and I finished my first undergrad, I didn't have any money to my name. How in the world was I going to pay off my student debt? Think of some ways that you can earn a bit more beyond what you're making right now. And if you're currently in school and watching this video, consider picking up a part-time job. You don't need to be working full-time hours, but anything helps. And another thing is, I recommend from the 100% of the income that you make or earn, try to save 60% and live off the 40%. I know it's going to be really, really tight, but it'll make you really creative. It made me really creative. I would always look for free events, free food, discounted, couponed. I didn't find any shame in it because I just felt like things are being offered anyway, so I'm just gonna take advantage of it. And so I did. Figure out what you can do. I know that in Canada, some shops offer free coffee if you come in before a certain time. Some shops have discounted food after like 6 or 7 p.m. You can get your groceries for half the price. Look around, be creative. If your mind is open to these things, you will see them. Made it my priority. All I did was dream and think of when the day came, I would have some money in my hand to be able to put down on my student loans. And that was the thing that motivated me the most. All those times where I'd pick up something in the store and I would put it back, I would tell myself, me putting it back is me putting money towards my student loans. And I kept doing that, and I tried to think and glamorize the minimalism, broke bitch lifestyle, because there was no other way I was gonna get through this if I didn't make it my priority, if I didn't think what I'm doing is the most important thing. I thought to myself, there's going to be plenty of time when I can purchase this and I can purchase that, but the most important thing is paying off the student loan. I could not imagine something that I bought was going to comfort me the same way that having money in the bank ready for my student loan to be paid off could comfort me. Like, that was a lot of comfort. That material purchase, not the same amount. If anything, it caused me more anxiety because it was just taking money away from my student loan fund. I did non-spending habits. Since I was going to need every single penny to go towards my student loans, I needed to figure out some new hobbies. My old hobby used to be going to the mall and shopping. I couldn't afford to do that anymore, and I have picked up a lot of good hobbies. My YouTube channel is a hobby that I picked up that doesn't involve any money. I picked up reading for free. I read the samples from Kindles and people's book reviews rather than the book. I think I've only paid for a total, of 5 books in the entire 5 years. I picked up exercising. I took up eating healthy. I tried to think of it like once my money came into like my hands, it was stuck. I wasn't gonna let it out. I hung out with less spendy friends. You are the sum of your 5 friends. I know this one is tough. I was a little bit lucky. I went to school abroad, so I didn't really have any friends. I literally only had one friend, and he was very spendy. But I was already aware that he was very spendy. I think that's already half the game. So whenever he's like, yo guys, let's go out to eat, I always made sure that it was after we picked a place to eat that was dirt cheap. A bowl of $2 Canadian noodles. And even then, that was a splurge. Me buying noodles, I know a lot of people, they ate ramen to like save money. For me, ramen was a luxury. You can even ask Will. Will knows that we only ate ramen when I wanted to like bouge out. What I ate was vegetables. Because vegetables were only a couple cents. It gave me an eating disorder, but god damn it, I was able to pay off my student loans. Be wary of your friends and your friends' spending habits because they will influence you. I think the most important thing to realize is that consistency is key. I wouldn't have been able to do this in shorter periods of time. Like, some of these people are crazy. Like, they pay this stuff off in like 2 years, you know? Kudos to them, but that was not me. Too fast, too furious has never been me. Everything that I do is slow as hell. I've always been a hard worker, and don't be discouraged. It might take you longer than other people. You can definitely do it. I'm cheering you on. If you want to leave any comments down below about your student debt journey, know that you're not alone. If you ever feel discouraged, just come back and watch this video and know that you are not alone and that you got this. If I was able to do it, you can do it too. If you haven't done so yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out my Instagram for more Mignon Cobra goodness. Alright, so that is my video. Thank you so much for having taken the time to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.